The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a very special guest for you today, all the way from the West Coast, Melinda Elmer with the Elmer team of Century 21. Melinda is ranked among the top 1% of agents in today's market, and Melinda has consistently been awarded the designation of top buyer's agent and listing agent. How are you, Melinda?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's the weather out there? Nice, huh?
It is. It's gotten a little cooler, which is great because it was about 108 about 3 weeks ago.
Hey, no humidity though, right?
Oh, we're on the beach, so we do get some humidity.
Get a little bit. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I live in West Palm Beach, and we get a lot of humidity. So I jest and chuckle a little
bit. And hurricanes and things like that.
Yeah, we get hurricanes. Yeah, we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. But beautiful area out there. So, tell me, you're one of the top realtors in the area. How did you get started?
Well, way back, 20 years ago, probably a little more than 20 years ago at this point, I wanted to buy a house for myself. And I was working as a theatrical stage manager.
Okay.
And I went and met with a real estate agent and blessed that real estate agent because they didn't listen to a single thing I said. And kept telling me what I should do and not asking me what I wanted to do. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go get my real estate license then, because I wanted to buy a HUD home and buy a beat up foreclosure, fix it up and live in it. And I didn't care where it was. I just wanted a house. And they kept pushing me towards a condo. So I called a bunch of different real estate offices. Only like 2 called me back. And the 2 that called me back, one of them I went in, they gave me a correspondence course. I took it while I was still working. And then I did both jobs for a short period of time. And that was really hard.
Yeah,
because in the morning I would work on real estate, and then my other job was evenings, so evenings and weekends. So I would switch and work evenings and weekends for that job. And here I am.
I could sit and talk to you about being the stage production manager for an hour. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love realtors. I talk to them all day, right? But now I'm like, well, tell me about that if you want to.
Well, the fun thing is there's a lot of similarities, or at least what I saw was similarities. You had an opening, you had a closing, I was the communication hub between all of the parties in transaction. That's pretty similar in real estate.
That's true.
You have a lot of personalities to deal with.
Yeah.
And everyone who thinks that they're right. So you have to bring everybody together in and make it a win-win for everyone in the transaction. And you're always having to hunt for a new job.
Wow.
The major difference is I get paid a lot better doing this job.
Yeah, that's true. The payoff is nice, isn't it?
Yes.
So tell me, so you're with Century 21, you've started building a team, or you have built a team. How long has your team been together?
I was pretty much a solo agent until I had a transaction coordinator for many, many, many years. And then my ex-partner became on as my assistant for a little while until we got a divorce. I don't recommend working together with your spouse.
Right.
My own personal experience, lots of people do it, I know. But in that case, it didn't work. And
now I want an hour of talking about that.
Right. So that's the short version. It didn't work. Okay. So back in, I think that was though actually starting maybe even in 2004 or 2005, I started having them help me because my first year I did 12 transactions. And I did that 12 transactions pretty much in 6 months. So, because it took me some time to get the momentum going, but once I got the momentum going, I was really cranking it.
Right.
So I needed some help. But they worked with me part-time. And then they worked with me until 2009 when we split. And then I went back to it was just me and a transaction coordinator. And then I had a part-time assistant that helped me like update my database and things like that. But
Yeah.
I kept it really, really skinny for a long, long time. And I want to say about 6 years ago, and I've been doing this for 20 years. So 6 years ago, I brought on who is now my director of operations, and she was a full-time assistant that I actually went out and hired. And then I had a buyer's agent start with me shortly after, but was kind of more of a showing agent to start. And then really in the last year and a half, I've brought on more people.
Okay. And has that, go ahead. Tell me.
I was gonna say, so now I have a couple of buyer's agents and like 3 admin.
Oh man, that's fantastic. So it's
Yeah.
definitely made your life easier. And what do you focus on? I mean, obviously running the team, is always the paramount, right? That's making sure, just like talking about stage production, it's like you're the conduit. Now you're less the conduit for people, making transactions and the closing team. And now it's everybody within your team. You're the conduit.
Well, I'm actually still the biggest producer of the team.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I still generate the most business of the team because everybody's relatively new to the team.
Okay.
As far as the one buyer's agent's been with me much longer, but for many, many years, she was mostly a showing agent. So she wasn't generating business. That's only been a recent change. It's mostly been, I've been the one generating all the business for the team. But now I've got everybody prospecting because we have to in this changing market.
Yeah. The changing market, we'll talk about that a little bit. I don't always like to bring it up, but hey, you brought it up. I didn't. Changing market, especially in California. And I don't mean to isolate California at all, but there's just, even all the way over here on the East Coast, you hear about California home market, if you've got your ear to the grindstone and that's what you pay attention to, like I do. Shifting sands, a lot changing. How much pivoting do you have to do?
Well, in my mind, this is just a normal market.
Okay.
I've been through enough of real estate cycles to see that this is no different than a normal market. We've just been in an abnormal market for the last 7, 8, 9 years at this point, especially the last 2 years, 2.5 years. I still remember when interest rates were 22%. So
Sure.
It took my parents sold a house during that time, and it took them 2.5 years to sell their house, and interest rates were 22%. So having to have your days on the market go from 7 to 21 or even 30 is really not that big of a deal.
Right.
But we have to provide better customer service for our clients. We have to provide more information and setting expectations up for our clients. And also, we have to do a lot more education with people right now. So that just really means a lot more communication, and we have to do a heck of a lot more prospecting these days.
Yeah. So tell me about, and this was doing my due diligence last week, and I was, looking at your site today, and I go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this. But tell me about the American Dream show.
So it's a TV show across the country that is designed to feature real estate and lifestyles.
Okay.
And they reached out to me, I don't know, about a year and a half I want to say about a year and a half ago, and asked me to host this segment here for Long Beach.
Nice.
So I've been doing that for the last year and a half, approximately. And it's been fun. We gotten to get out and meet some people in the community who we didn't normally meet before. We got to do a great feature of the Acura Grand Prix now, of Long Beach.
Or Toyota.
Yeah, it used to be Toyota, but now it's Acura. And we just got to go see some different properties and things like that that allowed us to be featured on the show. So it's just fun.
Yeah,
It's not, I wouldn't say it's like a huge source of business, but it's just another avenue and another fun thing to do.
definitely a way to get your name out there. And do you guest host other realtors? Is that how it works, or?
It's really more featuring uh, lifestyles
Okay.
of the area. So we did a feature, for example, we have an area called Naples
Mm-hmm.
here in Long Beach, and there's canals just like Naples, Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have gondolas with gondoliers singing as they go around in there. And you can also
Nice.
get a pizza, or it can just be a two-person romantic gondola. So I got to interview the owner of that business and talk to him about what his experience was in the area and all of that. So that was fun.
Nice.
Talked to restaurant owners. We featured some of the historic buildings that are here in Long Beach. I know historic isn't like the East Coast historic, but we have some stuff from the 1920s here
Yeah.
that's
Ancient,
historic for us.
ancient stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're basically the realtor about town, That's
right.
kind of cool. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. So if I had a magic wand and I came to your office and I said, Melinda, I'm going to solve one, major, I don't like calling them problems. They just could be something that you're thinking about on a daily basis that you would like to achieve and or get rid of, just depending on your train of thought. What would that be? What's going on with Melinda and her business that she'd like to see a change that Tim could help with?
Hmm. As far as like the business itself, or just in general?
It could be whatever you like. You tell me.
It's a great question. I mean, if I could go back in time, one of the things that I would probably change would be really paying really close attention to profitability.
Mm-hmm.
I ran a really lean team for a very long time, and then as the income was growing, I spent more. So really watching that and paying attention to that, and I've made some adjustments recently to correct that and tie that in, because especially in a shifting market, that's even more important than ever. And really watching that bottom line, because
Yeah.
we're ultimately running a business and we have
Sure.
to stay profitable.
You're definitely an entrepreneur as much as anybody thinks, oh, Melinda works for Century 21 or, so and so works for Remax. Doesn't matter. You're an entrepreneur. They're not giving you a check every week just for showing up and being the friendly person that you are. That's for
No.
sure. Well, that sounds good. Well, we learned about how you started, and then we kind of heard about your team and kind of where you are today, and um, learned about what the magic wand is for you right now. Or we could go back. I need a time machine, not a magic wand.
Yeah.
What I
Time
need, a
machine
time
is more
machine. Let me
appropriate.
tell you, if I had a time machine, I think everybody in the United States would be knocking at my door. Can you fix this? Uh, so
Yeah,
let's
your
put our
magic wand needs to make a time machine.
yeah. If I take my magic wand and make a time. Well, this sounds great. So let's talk about let's put our prognostication hats on. And I thought you were gonna grab a hat. I really was. I saw your arm move. I go, she's grabbing a darn hat. Um, awesome. What does the next 1, 3, and 5 years look like for you?
Well, my goal over the next 1 year is to get our team up to 150 transactions a year.
Okay.
Last year we did 102. This year there's been a lot of growth as far as building the team. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been focused a lot more on systems. So our numbers are a little bit down from that, but we're really close. Uh, but next year is 150. And then you said 3 years?
Well, it could be 1, 3, and 5. I usually ask, hey, 1, 3, and 5, 3 and 5, 1 and 5. Yeah.
So one
What's
year to 150, and then by five
yeah. What
years, 200
when are you
deals.
retiring? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Never.
I don't have any specific plan on that, but I do have
No.
a goal within the next 5 years to reach a passive income of 25,000 a month.
Man, wouldn't that's a great goal.
Yeah.
That's a great goal. Yeah. And that's how people should think, right? That's my opinion. I agree with you. A lot of people like to analyze or quantify in number of homes sold, or price points. I like to increase price points on the homes I do sell. I want to go from this to luxury or whatever. But yeah, I think having that passive income is a fantastic, definitely fantastic way to think about it.
Well, and I had a wake up call a couple of years back. I went around at one of their big real estate conferences and asked a bunch of my colleagues and said, "How much are you putting away for your retirement every month?" And shockingly, most of the people that I asked were at 0 or said they were we're going to let their kids take care of them, or
Yeah,
they
why not?
figured they would wait till later and they would do it later. And these were people who are in their 50s and 60s. And
Right.
I was appalled. I mean, and I'm in my mid 40s, but I was just, and I was probably in my late 30s at the time, but I was shocked that people were just not saving. Now, there were, of course, some people who were, and they were maximizing everything that they could.
Right.
But I wanted to be like those people and not like the majority of the people there. So that's been a huge focus of mine for the last couple of years, and just nobody else is going to take care of us. So
Right.
we got to take care of ourselves.
For sure. Yeah, I think that's a plague in high ticket sales is believing that one, this is just going to continue forever. That's something that we always tell ourselves. Well, maybe you don't, or I don't, but a lot of folks do. HGTV has sold us a bill of goods on that. But yeah, and a lot of them believe that it's never going to end, and there's always a tomorrow. But
Right.
we know the realities of things. So good plan. I love it. I love it. So we're getting ready. We're kind of winding down here. So a couple more items I'd like to ask. One, how would someone get in touch with you if they either wanted to list and or buy, or hey, maybe they want to be on your show?
Sure. They can reach me at 562-316-2915, or they can email me at melinda@theelmerteam.com. And it's MELINDA at the Elmer, like Elmer Fudd, team.com.
Cute. Perfect. So here's where I'm going to just give you the floor, and this is please, I hope it doesn't throw you off, but I always like to give my guest, it's your show, it's your time, 2 minutes. What's on your mind? You have the floor. It can be about business. It can be about personal, something near and dear to your heart and or your mind that you would like the audience to know or at least hear about.
I mean, I would say to the real estate agents who are out there listening to make sure you do save. Put away some money from every check. I see too many people who spend every penny that they get in, and I've done it myself. So really focus on saving some of that money and reinvesting it and putting it to work for you to build your wealth down the line, because there may be a day when something comes where you can't work anymore, or you don't want to work anymore, and it's going to be much better for you to have that. And for the general public out there and investors, get in the game. Right now, people are scared. It's a great time to get in. Interest rates are still at historic levels, and prices are what they are. But you could still buy a property now and pay it off in 15, 20, 25, 30 years and build your retirement. So I guess that's my big message is really focus on the end goal. Your payments are going to be what your payments are, but your payments are ultimately going towards your retirement in the long run. Whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're an investor, or whether you're just general public who wants to buy a home, it is still a great time. There may not be a good time to sell, or it may be a good, but there's always a good time to buy. And the good time to buy is whenever you can. So I guess that would be my 2 cents to share with people.
I love it. That's what I'm going to title on the graphic, on the thumbnail, your podcast. I'm going to use that. That's awesome. No, that's sage advice. I think you hit the nail on the head for sure. Melinda, thanks so much for being on the show. I really enjoyed it. Definitely like to catch up in 3, 6, 9 months and kind of see if you're on track for where you want to be, and talk about all the successes moving forward.
Sounds good. Thanks so much for having me.
Have a great week.
You too.
Bye.